All right, all right, all right. Welcome back. And we are joined alongside Bill Haney. I hesitated because I didn't know to say, should you be trainer of the year for going to Australia 2 times? It was both in the same year, right?
Both in the same year, champ.
Wow. What's your thoughts? Let's take it from right from there. And obviously, thank you for joining us. But do you think what you and your son did, traveling to a foreign country and, not only winning those belts, but defending them and coming back to America, do you think that you should be at least nominated for Trainer of the Year?
Well, thank you, first of all, for having me, guys. It's always a pleasure to come on the Boxing Voice, the voice of the streets, the voice of the people.
Appreciate it.
It's always a blessing. It's a blessing of Allah for me to wake up every morning, and that's what I give all praise due to God for, all of this happening in our life and happening in such a positive way relatively fast. I'm still a student of the game. I study the game, inside and outside the ring. I try to do the best I can for Devin and for you guys and the people on our team. To say that I'm doing a great job means the world to me. Obviously, Trainer of the Year, that's something with all those guys that you would mention as being candidates. It's just great company to be in, and I'm just happy. You know what I mean? It's a good time, like always, to be in the Devin Haney business.
Obviously, when you got into this sport, it was just to assist your son and you living out his dreams. But as you've seen him accomplish certain things, has that goal shifted now for you to start and get some of these accolades as a trainer?
Well, no, that's the part of being a parent and making that transition from parent to partner. And I always kind of speak about it privately, but now I'm kind of more speaking about it on platforms that I go to, and it's the importance of making that transition from a parent to a partner. And with that saying, I am extremely happy and proud of what Devin has accomplished. And the higher that he rises, so do we. He's what we call, we call him Superman at the house. That's like the nickname around there, because what he's done for not only himself, and our family, but boxing as a whole, to cross different barriers and what they call sides of the streets to make the fights happen, to go to different countries, to go to a different country not once but twice to make it happen. I believe that, and deep in my heart, that he is the fighter of the year. He's not only has showed that he's the fighter of the year, he might even be the fighter of this era, the way in which he's trailblazed and shown that when we first started, we started on an app such as YouTube. This podcast will probably be, streamed and shown around the world, not just now, but for sure for our lifetime, if not documented as history forever. So using this kind of platform, and Devin being the first to be patient and not let the powers that be manipulate him into believing that linear television was the only way to go out, only way to go. He was birthed on digital television and a digital platform, and he's transcended to linear. So for a fighter to do that and to do it in the way that Devin has done, it's just all the signs of just being the fighter of the year, pound for pound, both the accomplishment and going to another lineal champ's country and taking it away from him, not in just one aspect, one style, but to come back and show another style and show a versatility at 23 years old that just, it just makes us, extremely happy.
I wanted to talk. I'm sure Danny can remind me exactly who we were with, maybe 48 hours ago or less, and we were having a conversation about you and Devin. But before I give you the exact substance, I want to know how important are affirmations for you, because you come up in life and a lot of these life coaches or people that want to tell you how to live your life say affirmations are important. And we had a conversation, again, he'll fill in the blank, with someone that said Bill and Devon's team knew what they were doing early on. They said, I could remember him, fighting maybe, let's say, Mexico, but you bringing 20 to 30 people and
It
everyone.
was Philly.
Philly?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the promoter Manny.
Manny Rivera.
What is hitting?
Hit. I'm
Let's
sorry.
not mess
We
up.
just
Yeah,
had
let's
him
not
right
mess
here.
up, Manny.
Hold on,
My
I
bad.
got it.
Manny
I'm gonna
is
check
very
my.
good,
I'm
yeah.
gonna check my. Hard hitting promotions.
Hard-hitting
Yes.
promotions.
Shout out to Manny Rivera.
Yeah, shout out to Manny and the work that we did early on with Manny. And it's countless individuals along the way that has been very instrumental in Devon's growth and his career. Everyone was saying to us that you shouldn't go to Mexico. You shouldn't go to Mexico. You won't get the visibility because of linear television. Well, we went to Tijuana and had a wonderful experience in the sense of the development of Devon, because he was developed in a hostile environment. And with that development, going to Mexico and everybody rooting against you and you not necessarily knowing what they're saying because of the language barrier, it meant it breeded Devon to go to Australia, to face challenges that he had faced early in his career, where he was familiar with them. So like I said, Manny, and he's over there in Philadelphia, and he was part of those that early on going to Philly and getting those shows. And Philly is a market that, they're tough. You know what I mean? They know their stuff, I should say. So that was one of those steps that we took.
Well, specifically, I wanted to talk about, he brought up that you guys would repeat certain things to Devon back then that have now come true, and that you were basically telling him how good he was back then when he was very young. I just wanted to, hear from you the importance of affirmations, or were you not thinking of it? That's what you guys believed back then. It wasn't about building up your son. It was just your belief.
Well, that's the part that's key when you go from parent to partner, and you understand that this now is not just this is your partner in what we consider the Haney legacy, the Haney empire, the Haney organization, Devon Haney Promotions. So with building and understanding where your partner is and what step, Devon was on time and ahead of the curve at each position. So although there were affirmations, I was 100% correct. I was 100% confident and sure, and in my heart, that he is the guy. He is the guy, and he was the guy when I was telling him those certain affirmations. They are key in a time where fighters and kids and athletes don't necessarily get it. They don't necessarily hear the truth. They hear, oh, you got to keep working, you got to work, and more work. But they don't actually get a chance to hear the truth is that they're doing a hell of a job. And something that a lot of times the coaches can give them their experiences, but you can't necessarily say that you've done it, that you've actually walked in that kid's or that athlete's footsteps. And those that do and have, I commend them, because to actually go through it and not sit back and go on a vacation or a yacht or retire without coming back and giving some of these kids the knowledge and affirmations that you're talking about. So yeah, they are very important, but you also have to be a realist with the athlete as well.
Bill, I wanted to ask, obviously, being in your son's corner his whole career, there was a point where you were there as a father and only a father. Obviously that changed, then you saw something that led you to, invest all this time and all this money into Devon. At what point was it that you saw that, and at what point was it that you went, as you say, from father to partner?
Well, I have a older son that both of you guys know. His name is Bill Jr., right? Little Bill. Mm-hmm. He doesn't get a whole lot of credit, you know what I mean, for the role that he's played in this thing too. But It started out as me and Bill Little being partners in Devon's development. So obviously you see Bill around, you'll see me, he fills in, and then it became a partnership between me and Devon and Sean, my 12-year-old. And now I've started a partnership with my 12-year-old Sean in the development of my 8-year-old daughter, Bella. So this partnership means that they have what they have. They have what God has given them, the talent that they have. But they also need someone to come in and not hoover over them, not be demanding, but also be understanding and give them what they need to further develop in their journeys. Because Sean and Bella aren't professional tennis players right now, but for all intent and purposes, that's what they've set out to do. And, you know what I mean, being a partner in that relationship means, you know what I mean, they're the boss. At 8 years, I have an 8-year-old boss, a 12-year-old boss, a 23-year-old boss, and a 32-year-old boss in their respective fields. But, of course, when you come and you see Dad, Pawpaw, you come to the house, you know what I mean, that's something totally else different. But I really take their careers serious like they deserve.
So how old was Devin when he became the boss?
When Devin became the boss?
Yeah.
When he set out on this journey, that's when he became the boss. You listen to him, and then you give him, you know, your feedback as a partner. You know, a partner doesn't mean that you're a punk, that that you're going to take the easy way out. A partner in the thing is, okay, I'm going to match your energy. I'm going to get up and, you know what I mean? I'm going to get the car ready. I'm going to go outside. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to match your energy. I'm going to go get lunch. I'm going to go and go grab, wash the clothes. I'm going to do all this. I'm a partner in this. You know what I mean? And we're going to take it as far as you're going to take it. And right now, Devin, the sky's the limit. He set out early on and he said he wanted to be one of the best to ever put on a pair of gloves. So, you know what I mean? We have our work cut out for us, and I take it in stride. I love being partners with my kids, for sure.
So, Bill, every time we talk about you and Dev, I feel like people want to not diminish, but for lack of a better word, diminish and be like, oh, man, but Bill had money. Bill had money. It ain't fair. Bill had money. So can you tell us the story? Obviously, dollar amount doesn't matter, but like, how was that road turning Devin from an amateur to a pro? Like, we know you went to Mexico and we know you did it on your own, but why does everyone think it was so difficult and that you only got it done because Bill had money? Is it that hard? Can other fathers do it?
Because we've heard numerous people, but Bill had the money to take him to get this work.
Bro, they'll be like,
he had the money to go here.
And they'll hit you with the side, like, you don't know Bill? Come on, man. Bill was in the music, but it's easy for Bill. It's like, every time I'm here praising you, like, bro, no one's done it like you, but they trying to act like you had it easy.
No, I think that it's management. You know what I mean? If you manage your time, you manage your resources, you're going to actually get what you're looking for. And then a strong belief in God, and I always continue to praise Allah for, the times that I wanted to have the responsibility, but because being in music, you want the responsibility of having that A-list entertainer, so on and so forth. With different times with different artists and different groups, I didn't necessarily get the confidence that Devin gave me going into this business. Devin is confident about what I can deliver. I'm confident about what I can deliver, and then we don't waver. I think a lot of the times it doesn't come down to money for any parent. It comes down to education and, doing your due diligence in terms of the next step. A lot of times people will tell you, we had legendary meetings with Jay-Z, Floyd, 50 Cent.
How old was Devin when you guys went to Reebok? I remember he was early on in his career.
Yeah. It's crazy to think that, you know what I mean? He was that young, like 16 or like 16. He was 16, 17. He had the Reebok situation. And,
But how did these things come about? Because you see, that's what they like to blanket and be like, because it's Bill. That like they're trying to say that this isn't possible if you don't have a father like yourself or a person that can back Devin the way that you did.
I mean, think about it. Devin was what, 17, 18 on the Breakfast Club, like.
Right. And that's the thing is that within management or within your artist or within your son, we're just as protective of Devin as the fighter as he is my son. So a lot of times that early on we weren't able to get things, and sometimes we don't get things that Devin would like to get now. But I continue knocking on the door, and when they say no, he doesn't know how they said no, or he doesn't necessarily know why they're saying yes, because my job is for them to say yes and for them to open the door for him. And I think that when parents say, look all the way up the staircase instead of looking forward to the next step, most of the time, every house, they have the opportunity for that next step, but they're looking and listening to the narrative that, oh my God, you're not going to be able to get the big fights unless you're with the big three, whether it be Arum, Mayweather, or Matchroom, or De La Hoya, the big four now, so to speak. But don't concentrate on that part. That part will take care of itself. And each household, that next step they have. And a lot of times I think that fighters and teams are lazy because they don't want to cross that border to get that work, And Mexico is a great breeding ground. They have some tremendous fighters. And if you just try to go down there thinking that you're just going to get a win and not actually preparing and training and all that and getting the win at a discount, because they're gonna give you the work, but if the same fighter is brought over to the United States, now he's gonna cost more. What I knew was that this breeding ground of great fighters, Bob Arum was getting them, and De La Hoya was getting them. So I said, you know what? To cut down the cost, because we can move more efficient, and it costs less to get 2 or 3 opponents for the price that we would get one in the States.
Right.
Is let's go ahead and cross. So that's just some strategy that we can't, that we decided to do. And Devin had the confidence in me. I had the confidence in him, and I think that that's where that starts, because the talent, like Floyd always says, the talent is going to speak for itself. If you can fight, you can fight.
Now, obviously, the age was a thing too, because he was 17 when he turned professional, correct? He was 17 when he fought in Vegas, I do believe.
Yes.
He was on the Pacquiao Bradley 3 undercard.
Youngest to fight in the Las Vegas at a venue like that.
Yeah, youngest to get commissioned in the state of Nevada. But I wanted to ask, obviously, you guys knew you guys weren't going to make the cut for the Olympics because of the age. But why not wait those couple months, that 1 year to turn 18? Why go down to Mexico instead of securing something here in the U.S.?
Well, we were actually more closer to 16 than we were 17. You know what I mean? He had just turned 17 when he turned pro, and when he stopped in amateur boxing, he was 16, because he was fighting 17 and 18. He was fighting the youth, and he had already won, and we didn't have the opportunity to go to the Olympics because of his age, because they dropped the age down. So we were left with not anything other to do than take an opportunity from the time that he was 16 to 17 to develop a pro style of obviously hit, not get hit, because you have 29 fights and you have a young fighter at 23 years old. I had to learn as much as I can about this kid being able to be in this business and not get hurt, not get hit upside his head 29 different times. So a lot of times I think that we learned it the right way, and everyone else comes back and says, well, it was boring. Well, we'll fight anybody in the world. And that means that if your guy is who he says he is, then it's not going to be a boring fight.
Well, so what's up with Lomachenko, and what is our targeted time frame?
I'm hoping I'm doing everything that I can to stay busy and let team, our team and Lomachenko and Top Rank negotiate it out. I'm looking for, like what Bob said, in March. Of course, we have Ramadan at the end of March. So like I've spoke with Danny and I've spoke with you, Ness, that it's kind of important that we fight before Ramadan than fighting after. So I'm kind of just waiting to see.
Did you?
What is there a targeted month you would like?
He said March.
March?
Before Ramadan, yep.
And I believe Ramadan is coming in around the 26th of March.
So how soon before the 26th? Because Plant just announced
22nd. So your last Saturday in March, you're looking at, what's that, the 18th, I believe,
and
or
Plant
the 19th?
Plant Benavidez
The 19th.
announced early March.
A March pay-per-view date. So, yeah, it looks like March 19th is the last Saturday of the month. So hopefully we get something by then. Bill, did you make the trip to the Middle East for the Bivol and Sula fight?
Yeah. I that was really nice too, man. The venue was in
Abu Dhabi.
Right. We stayed in Dubai and traveled over. Did I guess 45-minute ride over.
Okay.
And then drove back over to Dubai after. But the hospitality that they showed us, it was amazing, bro. You know what I mean? Just amazing. We look forward to hopefully, inshallah, fighting there, one day soon.
Nah, I gotta ask because I've seen now multiple pictures and so was there like a meeting with Mr. Salel Muhammad, who we've seen?
Oh, that's he's somebody that we have a whole lot of respect for, who's doing big things.
He's killing it out there.
Yeah, big things worldwide though. He's that's the understatement about him. And like I said, we look forward to we've met a lot of good people around there, and we look forward to going back and maybe doing something in the future.
That'd be lovely. I would love that. Unfortunate it couldn't happen for this fight, but as long as the fight happens, right, BH?
Well, this is something that the people have continually asked about. They said that we weren't going to come out and campaign for it. They said that we weren't going to take it, let alone saying that we were going to lose. So, I'm trying to just stay focused. I know that Lomachenko and Papachenko and Igis Klimas, that's a hell of a team who've been at the top of the game for quite some time. And it's business. We've been chasing that fight down for a long time, to the point that now it's here. What they didn't want to do was put everything on the line for us, but we're showing you now that we wanted to fight and we're willing to put everything on the line. So, yeah.
So, Bill, how do you keep Devin focused? Is he like a competitive guy? Because, he's already made a decent amount of money. He's undisputed, So it's like, how do you keep him hungry?
Well, it's a difference between keeping someone hungry, keeping someone focused, versus understanding where their focus is, or understanding how hungry they are, and then using different scenarios to introduce them to re-spark the hunger or re-spark the focus. And Devin has been in different places, but I've always continued to have a pretty good relationship with him. You know what I mean? To just be that partner that'll say, hey, think about this, Soup. Think about this. Just, I'm going to lay this on you, Soup. And you know what he always says to me is, you think I wasn't listening from a kid, right? He's, so as parents, they got to understand their partner is listening to the good and the bad. When you say, oh, I don't think we're going to do this shit because he's not listening. Well, he's listening to that too, right? But it's easy to say is, what I think we would get a lot more money if you thought about it this way instead of looking at it wrong. So
have you always been that way? Have you always been to where you thought about the way you arrange your words when forming a sentence and speaking to your kids because of
Absolutely, absolutely. Coming from where coming from East Oakland, you know what I mean. You had to come correct, And if I always believed if I'm gonna come correct in the streets, then I got to come correct at home. Whether it's talking to my grandmother, whether it's talking to my mom, my aunt, my little cousin, my son, you know what I mean. If you can take out time, come down here and do good business with you guys, speak correct, and then you go home and you just an ass. You know what I'm saying? You like, that to me was backwards.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Because to me, it's harder, right, to go out in the streets and bite your tongue versus being at home. I think at home deserves sometimes the patience and biting your tongue as a partner than biting your tongue as a parent.
For sure. So I got Ruin at 504 that asks, do you think Devin can bypass 140 and go straight to 147 like Pernell?
Or why don't we just take him and send him right up to 154, maybe 160? You dig what I'm saying? Listen.
I mean, Broner did do 135 to 147.
140 is when Devin steps in there, it's the hottest division in boxing, just like 135 was. Devin goes back to Robert Eastern, Mikey Garcia, Lomachenko, and then, of course, the Ryan Garcias and all the rest of them showed up. So I believe that once he goes to 140, after 135, inshallah, we get past, the Ukrainian Matrix, Terminator, the resilient team over there. We go to 140, man, make some noise and look to be what you're hearing some fighters lie and say they have the opportunity to be, and that's two-time undisputed champion of the world.
Is there a time frame for Loma, or is this more about Top Rank and the business?
I think in all fairness, I can't speak for Dev, but I can just kind of convey the energy that is, if it's not happening before March, if they're insinuating that it's going to happen in May, then that's going to be too long, right? And that's what we were saying was that you go to May and then you come back with another fight and then you say, well, okay, well, May, that's November or December. And you know what I mean? For him at 135, it's his only division and he has all the belts, but you don't want to come right back with the fight. If you want to come back, then that's not, I don't know what kind of strategy or what kind of that would be.
And not just that, but I think Devin has shown, because he's done it before, held a camp, through Ramadan, did it with Linares. I just feel that if you can avoid it, he's the undisputed champ. He should be able to not have to put his body through that and enjoy Ramadan and get his fight off before. More than enough time.
Well, if you talked about from the fight being October, right? The fight was October
15th, yes, sir.
October the 15th. So October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. You see what I mean? It's like, but if it's the scheduling with ESPN and the inability to put on the fight, then we run into problems that's unforeseen to us, that's uncontrollable to us. We came to Lomachenko's fight and said, we're ready to get it on with you when you're ready. You know what I mean? We came ready. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of Top Rank and the attorneys and stuff at Top Rank and Bob and everyone to put something on the table before Ramadan for Lomachenko and Devin at 135.
But again, to be clear, it's up to Top Rank. It's not about Loma not agreeing to before March.
Yeah. No. I don't know what it's about. I don't know. I haven't spoken to hear if Lomachenko is saying that he prefers the May date than going before that. I don't know. One thing that I heard with him is that, just like everyone else, that he's comfortable doing what it takes to make the fight happen. One of the things that we want to do is stop all the talk with the people. It's the Super Bowl of the lightweight division. Let's get it on. And we were promised that the first quarter would be where we're looking. Bob has said publicly that it will be that he's looking at March. And for all intent purposes, that's what our target date is.
So I don't know if you've seen this. I'm pretty sure you did because you say you stay active on social media, but I wanted to show you nonetheless. This is Teo who's fighting Saturday in Tank, sparring. Have you seen this before?
You know what? I haven't.
It's not that long. Can you play it?
Watch that left. Let's box. Let's
So that's it. After that, it's gonna be on loop.
Beautiful.
But yeah. What's your thoughts, man? Have you heard of this sparring session in the past?
You know, that was a clip. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that's a strategic clip on whichever team's part to put
Release.
it out. Yeah, to release it.
I feel like it had to be on the Teo side. He the one landed the bigger right hand kind of wobble Tank.
Oh, did he? Let me see again.
Oh yeah. You ain't see that right?
No, but I saw Tank land a shot too, though.
I seen Tank with the flurry in the beginning. Let me get that clip one more time, Brian. But you got to watch, like, Teo put everything on that right hook. It was like one of those right hooks we see him do on TV. Watch. So Tank is in the blue headgear. If I
No, Tank is in the
yeah.
Right.
You right. So that was
Tank the
Tank.
southpaw, bro.
Oh shit. So that's Tank.
yeah,
that
that's
knock-
Tank. Yeah, come
That's
on, man.
Tank that knocks Teo like that.
You know one
One
thing
more
about
time,
me,
yo.
I'm gonna keep it trill. You know what I'm saying?
So he hit him with the left
Boom, there
off
it
the
go.
rope too.
Yeah, he hit him
And-
with the right hook too, and the left. Yep.
He do get him with that left off the rope, like, get off me.
Yeah.
So how'd it go with you guys? When you gonna release something, man? There's been a lot of talk of the footage between you and Tank. And by you, obviously, I mean Devin.
Well, you know, I came with some of the money I won, but you know what I mean? I don't have the footage.
So who exactly did you bet? Who had to pay?
Well, I bet the guys from Cincinnati, Adrian Broner and them team, you know, his dad, Coach Levi, and another cat out of Cincinnati, you know, that had a bunch of money, but y'all probably wouldn't know who he was.
But
You know.
if they paid, that means that they lost.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, and the thing about
What were there any rules to the bet? Like, what exactly did they lose?
It's the doghouse. It's the doghouse rules, and anybody that know anything about the doghouse, when you go in there and they hitting on the mat and all this other shit, right? Hyping it up. But you know, in fairness to what, you know, we had Tank and we have Devin, we have Floyd, we have Adrian, and Devin has just gotten out the car with Floyd. Adrian is bringing Tank to the gym. And while we're betting, right, because Floyd has invited everybody. So this is not something that is supposed to be kept secret, because if it was kept secret and it was supposed to be secret, we just got the better end of it. Because if we didn't get the better end and they had the money, then they would be saying something. And that was the purpose of betting the money. Nate won some money, Big Nate Jones, you know what I mean, and a couple other guys, right?
So he bet on Dev.
He bet on Dev, right?
Being a TMT guy.
Being a TMT guy. But you know what I mean? When it comes down to the money, you know, most people going, you know what I mean? They're gonna push their pride to the side, right? So while betting the guys, Adrian Broner, right? He has one of those moments similar to him in that hotel, walking down the hotel, kind of butt-ass naked, right? And you look over and you see AB and you see him walking down the hotel just butt-ass naked. You say, the fuck is AB doing, right? You just like, what the fuck is AB doing? And similar to that. So I have an actual story of him having one of those moments, one of them just goofy, weird moments, right? Where everyone else can say it and all that. But until you've actually been there with AB, and AB know I love him to death, he loves me to death. It's nothing personal. But when he realized he was having that goofy moment in that episode, he got back out the ring, and Dev continued to whip on Tank's ass. You see what I'm saying? Because what they were trying to do is, but we're from East Oakland, so it's like you try to break up. You know how, Danny, you go to sparring, where somebody hits somebody low, and then he's trying to get out of it, right? Instead of, and then so they try to break up the sparring, break up, it's over with, it's over with. No. Adrian, stop the goofy shit. Go ahead on that other side where you supposed to be. He like, all right, B. All right. Tank, come on, Tank, come on. Devin, keep whipping his ass. And that's how the story went. So what was surprising to me that I never revealed to the people a goofy moment I didn't have with AB. You know what I mean? Because I done had some solid 100 moments with him too. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But this was the time that it was the most weird, goofy shit in the world. And then after we got the money, he didn't come back and say to me, you know what I'm saying, B, you out of pocket, man, for leaving Dev in there, right? He never texts me and say, B, you know what I'm saying, you know, you got to know with this coaching shit, you can't be doing that. He never texted Dev and said, hey, Dev, watch out your dad, B. You know what I'm saying? He never. This is the first time he ever jumped out here with the bullshit because none of that shit happened. But I'm not going to say that Tank wasn't trying to punch. I'm glad to hear he's saying that was his crack. But his crack did not wobble Dev. It did not stumble Dev. It did not do none of that. You know what I'm saying? Now, what's the inference that you drive from that sparring right there? When you look
Shit,
at
I had it all wrong. For all this time, I thought the shirtless dude was Teo.
Right. So
that was Tank landed that right hook.
Yep.
Right. So what do you have?
I mean,
what
but you could
inferences
tell, though, now that you see that that's Teo in the blue, he looked little. This looked like it's old.
Yeah, that shit.
They might
that
be
shit
teenagers.
Yeah, but that shit. Well, Devin was 16. You see what I'm saying? Dev was 16. Dev is 24 now. You know what I'm saying? So we keep talking about this shit. And one thing about Tank that he knows is that Dev has gotten better. And he's gotten longer, more rangy. You know what I mean? Fast jab. You know, fast feet. You know, now you got a solid right hand, under, over, around.
Bill,
you know what I'm saying?
Is Tank the boxer everybody says?
Is he what?
Is he the boxer? Because a lot of people, especially his trainers, say, Tank ain't shown y'all he's a boxer because he ain't had the box yet.
What? Well, shit, he just said he gonna retire, so I guess we ain't gonna never see him.
I mean, he said 2 more years, and I was trying to get the team to show you that.
So he's going to, he's going to box against the boxers, or is he going to do what he does against the boxer? Because if his next 2 fights is against boxers, right, that he said he's going to come, they're true boxers, and he's saying that I'm going to go get them. And it's not, so you're never going to see that he's a boxer. He's not a boxer. You know what I mean? If the shit hit the fan, you do what you are, right? And if shit hits the fan, what he's going to do is do what he does.
So
sure.
So you think he, all things go left, he resorts back to the Tank we know, to the knockout type of Tank.
No, it's go get him. It's go get him. It's what a Tank is going to do. What is a Tank going to do? A Tank is going to come forward and it don't care what it's going to hit, right? What's going to hit it? It's gonna keep coming, and it's waiting for that one. Boom, boom, right?
So I wanted to show you this because you brought it up, and this is Tank on Morning Combat speaking about 2 more years remaining in the sport, but he makes it clear that he's not leaving without facing them guys, and I'm assuming Dev with all the belts has to be one of them guys.
No. Devin is the guy.
So that's the answer right there.
The guy.
28?
28.
Yeah. How much longer are you expecting to do it?
Once I get them guys out of there, I'm gone.
Is that right? So let's say like 30-ish, something like that? Why do you want to get out so soon?
I want to just help people that's coming behind me. I feel as though that's more important. Future.
Is that why you got Lamont Peterson and Anthony on this card?
They was before me, but yeah. They're trying to do my good deeds. I feel as though it's something that is installed in me. There's loyalty.
What's your thoughts, Bill? He says he wants to get out in 2 years to help people come up.
Well, I don't know. That's a good thing to say. You know what I mean? And I hope that he can accomplish everything that he wants to accomplish when he gets through boxing. You know what I mean?
But he's making it clear he's going to get you guys out of there first.
I said I hope that he accomplishes everything that he looks to accomplish after he gets out of boxing. fortunately for us, we don't believe that he's going to get, if he's insinuating that he's going to get Devin out of there, then we don't believe that, right? And if it's anything that you want to do for anybody, do it for your team, right? If you're everything that you say and everything that I hear you say that he is every day on here, right? You know what I mean? Everything. Then why not do it for your team?
You're right.
Why not do it right now? Right? I mean, as we speak.
I mean, fighting, you open up more doors fighting.
Huh?
I think as an attraction, he opens up more doors to put people on undercards the way Floyd did. Like, if you're Tank, if you retire, it's harder to get TV dates.
Devin has put Lorenzo Truck Simpson, hell of a fighter, out of Baltimore, being represented by Exquisite Sports, Raheem Brown. And, Devin had the wherewithal to understand that we've been knowing Lorenzo for forever, that you do what you can and do as much as you can while your career is going on. So when we talk about what is he doing, Anthony Peterson and Lamont Peterson are from D.C. His crew is from Baltimore, right? So if you want to do anything, pay your trainers. So us trainers won't
pay your trainers?
Us trainers won't have the stereotype that we don't get money when you get to fighter to the biggest fights in the game, right?
But what you mean pay your trainers?
That's what I said. I said pay your trainers. You know what I mean? You're talking about leaving the game and you're talking about taking care of people. Take care of your trainers, to whereas they're not getting minimum wage.
But how would you know they getting minimum wage? And they don't seem disgruntled over there. They having a podcast. They got the Rise podcast. You see Coach Calvin Ford and Kenny. They stay with Tank on there. If they wasn't happy, what they gonna have Tank on there for?
Well, if you got the number one fighter in the world, you got the box office attraction.
Oh, wait a minute.
You got if.
Did you just say number one fighter? Because if Dev hear this shit.
No, I said if you do. No, Devin is the pound for pound guy. He's the number one fighter inside the ring, both professional versus as a businessman. Because you see how I'm looking. You see what he paying me. You see what I'm saying? It started out as I was the investor, but now I'm getting paid. You see what I'm saying? And so is Robert Garcia. So is a lot of other guys. So is Eddie Reynoso and all them. You know what I mean? But I just think that, somebody need to help out Coach Calvin and Coach Kenny and them. You know what I mean? Because they doing as much as they can. Shout out to the Rise podcast. You got to do what you got to do, Jack.
So, when you hear him say, we going to take out them guys, do you expect to be on that list? Do you think he's talking to Dev specifically, or is it just Ryan that he's talking about, since that's the one that's kind of set in stone if he can get past Hector Luis Garcia?
Do you think we should do a GoFundMe page for Calvin Ford to get a car or not?
So now you insinuating he ain't got no car?
I'm just kidding. Have you seen it?
Yo, you terrible.
BH, what the fuck?
What the? You know he gotta have a car.
It ain't like yours,
What
for sure. Ain't nothing you gonna drive. That's for sure, Jack. You know what I'm saying?
So BH came in on one today.
So
no.
So you saying he greedy?
Huh?
You saying Tank greedy?
Man, I'm saying that, listen, if you're going to do anything before the game, because we as trainers,
what you
we as
driving?
mentors,
Let's start there, because you taking shots. What you driving?
Today?
You're terrible. You're terrible. Oh, Calvin. It ain't me. I love you.
No, but I'm saying is I'm going to participate.
What you drive today, BH?
I'm gonna be the first one. I like to get behind them tents and drive executive.
Okay.
Yeah,
You brought the big boy out.
All black.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
black.
sir.
black insides, you know what I mean, black outsides, you know. But what were you saying anyway before that?
Do you think that he is talking about you guys when he say, I'm going to get them guys out of there? Because it's only 2-year timeline.
I don't know what, like his tweets, you know what I mean? I don't know what the hell he be talking about sometimes, you know what I mean? They pop on, they pop out, he says this, he says Devin, you know, where he clearly says after Kambosos, it's going to be Devin. And then it's Garcia,
But
and then them guys.
I don't want to defend him, but you know, I feel like I know you would have took the Ryan fight too. Like if Ryan and Tank are on the table right now for Devin, you got to be going to Ryan. It's a race to Ryan. It's a race to Ryan. He's vulnerable.
No, we were already on Dazn. We were already with Eddie, right?
But Ryan didn't want to fight y'all.
Well, all we had to do is cross over and give Golden Boy, Oscar, the deal of a lifetime, the deal. What's the name? But we always felt that you weren't going to get the credit for it. That no one was giving Ryan the credit if you beat Ryan. And everybody is getting money. So if you're getting money and you're not going to get the credit for Ryan, why?
But Ryan doesn't represent a different type of money.
Money is money. I mean, I'm saying is what, you know what I mean? Like,
no, he's saying exposing Tank to a different demographic. You know, Ryan is very commercialized. He got the Gatorade.
Well, I thought if you're at the top of the game and you're the guy, then I understand. But does that demographic really feel that Ryan is going to win the fight? Right? Right? It's no different.
I think so.
His fans do.
Listen, take nothing away from it, but I think that what everyone was saying with us is that Ryan was not the guy. Don't chase Ryan because Ryan got out of the WBC interim, right? And then he had depression and stuff like that. And, you know, and we always wished him well. But after he went through the depression, we never felt it was fair to get back on his line because he didn't really do anything. And then the undisputed champion is looking for Ryan. And then Ryan went through the depression and then he beat, who did he beat?
Javier Fortuna and Emmanuel to go.
Emmanuel to go, then
Emmanuel to go and Javier Fortuna, two guys that wouldn't fight Dev. So you have Javier Fortuna. To go probably would have fought him, right? But they didn't want to give us to go. I do say that about to go, and he had a bunch of fights. But Javier Fortuna with Sampson got out of it, and Ryan Garcia. So with both Ringwalk Danny knowing that and Ness, it would just be kind of hard to buzz them up and say, you know what I mean, we're on Ryan's bumper. Naturally, everybody came back and said, Loma. Huh? What do you mean? They said, oh, man, you're not going to mention Loma name. You're not. Loma, you don't want Loma. You don't want Loma. How soon does things change? But the plans can't change as fast as everyone's mind. Once you change the mind and, I changed my mind. We just got on a plane, got in the ring, went and started talking to him, did all the shit, went to the convention, the WBC where Don Majeski, right? And Ringwalk Danny was there.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir. BH called the phone like, yo, champ, I need you to come.
And,
you know?
And they wanted to know, should they order the WBC between Lomachenko and Haney? We, Ringwalk Danny and Don Majeski, let the WBC and Mr. Suleiman and everyone know that there would be no need to order it because we are negotiating. And they made the announcement. We started to continue the negotiation. I backed up, let Devin and the attorneys, let them get the words and go back and forth and hammer it out. And I came out and had some fun, you know, and I said, and when I came out, I said, hey, man, this is a great fight. And I started hearing a little bit of resistance. And then I said, well, where was you guys at? How did this all, you know what I mean? And then, of course, they started jumping on me. You know what I mean? All in the comments and all the shit. But what are we going to do, Danny? Ness, what are we going to do?
I mean, the new hot guy, first and foremost, I'll tell you, Floyd already went through this. He told you I gave you guys the green print. He suffered so you don't have to. He told you they just going to build up the next guy. So when you beat Loma, you know the next guy is Shakur. And if you beat Shakur, the next guy is Tank, and vice versa. If you beat Tank, they're going to say Ryan. You beat Ryan, they're going to say Loma. You beat Loma, they're going to say Shakur. But that being said, yeah, the new boogeyman for Devin is Shakur, is what it seems like. What is your thoughts? Because I do recall doing an interview with you back in the day, and you said, nah, Shakur is big bruh. Now, East Coaster, big bruh, I can interpret it differently. What does that mean for you guys?
Well, with them and their relationship, they've never gave any interpretation that they wouldn't fight. You know what I mean? They know that they put in. I've watched both of them put so much into their craft and dedicate their entire lives to the sport. So Shakur, Devin will not stop it, not get in the way of giving an opportunity to Shakur, and I'm sure Shakur would never get stopped at giving an opportunity for Devin.
So you're saying, because I don't know what you're saying there, it almost sounds like if Shakur wants a shot at Undisputed, you would give it to him, but then that means you're saying that Devin could commit to a second 135-pound fight.
Well, no. Actually, what I'm saying is that you have fighters that we don't get anything from, right? We don't, but we never complain. If we have all the belts and we says, okay, well, what are we going to win from Lomachenko? Nothing. What are we going to win from Shakur? Nothing, right? What are we going to win? So if it comes to an actual fight, then what's fair is it being a fight. And if it's for no belts or if it's for one belt, it's fair. When it's fair, and it's fair on the scale, it's fair, it's fair. If it's not fair and they don't feel that it's fair and they're not ready for it or it's not the right time, then ultimately him and Dev, they have each other's number. Dev has made the fight with George Kambosos in the DMs. He's made the fight with Jojo Diaz in the DMs. He made the fight with Jorge Linares. And then I made the fight with Gamboa, right? So
I assisted.
yeah, you know that? You did. Me and you. And we
Shout
call
out,
out,
champ.
Yeah,
Shout out.
yeah. No, he's keeping it.
He was
keeping
your
it 100.
translator?
He's keeping it 100, right?
Okay.
We had to pick. And that was ultimately ended up being Gamboa. But so I say that to say that you have those two guys as being. Are they still millennials? Are they millennials?
Man,
Those two guys?
I don't know.
I'm so confused. What
Somebody told me that I couldn't use the term Latin the other day, so I don't fucking know nowadays.
What?
Latin?
Yeah, they said I'm not Latin, that I'm considered Latinx, and I'm like, what?
Oh,
the
wow.
fuck
What is
that?
that? I mean, we don't want to go down that hole, though.
Man, I don't even know. So
Yeah. So, but they're bosses. They're in communication with each other. They're in communication with their teams. They got great teams, and that's something that will happen. Definitely.
Dev has a relationship with Jay himself, right?
Yeah. He got a relationship. He's, Dev's the boss. So, you know what I mean? It was my job. It was my job to put him with all the right people and have all the right relationships. And then I kind of just lay back and counsel him, through the journey, whichever spot that he might need some counsel at. And sometimes that's a little bit, sometimes it's a lot, and then sometimes it's none at all.
Well, if we didn't get an answer on that, because people say that you're notorious for not answering questions, we got the same question two different ways.
Okay.
Zay says, now that Shakur is in the mix at 135, does he see Devin fighting Shakur at 135, or does he see that fight happening in the future at 140?
Yes.
And how does that fight play out?
Yes. We have one more fight at 135, which is Lomachenko. And then, of course, we can do it at 140. We can do it at 147. We can do it at 154.
You just told the other guy.
I said 140, 147.
But you just told the other guy who asked you to move up to 47 like Pernell. No.
You have to let me finish. My friend Ness is the best. You dig what I'm saying? But we can do the fight at 140, 147, 154 in the future. I don't know at what time that Shakur is going to step up, where Devin is going to step up, and the two are going to meet. You know what I mean? Where both teams feel like that it's fair.
Let me give you a screen share. Brian, we ready? Because we weren't here for this. So I didn't mistake Dev. Dev is definitely red headgear winning, right? Winning headgear?
Winning headgear, yep.
Not winning, like if
Winning-
that.
no,
not
winning-
not to
I
say
understand.
he's winning
Listen.
the sparring. Come on,
No, listen,
Bill.
I
Stop
said-
trying to get me in
No,
trouble.
No, I understand. I said winning headgear. You know, I've watched that sparring, or people have sent it to me, you know, forever. So, you know, I know
But where's the
exactly.
full clip?
I knew exactly that you were, you know, huh?
Where's the full clip? Because
And-
this
and-
really
and-
shows Dev looking
I'm
good.
going to tell you, in Devin's boxing bag. Yeah.
Speed bag.
No, that arsenal of shit that he got, that left hook, right hook, 1, 2, body, jab, that's where the full
But
clip is.
but the question is, can Shakur release something that's this favorable to him? Because there's a lot of highlights here.
I never released any footage of him and nephew sparring. I didn't do that shit. I never did that. That was private sparring, and somebody else released it. That, you know what I'm saying? That was.
But this
us-
is obviously not a Shakur team. Like, it's
no.
not,
But what I'm saying is that Devin was 16. Shakur
In
was
this sparring?
In this sparring, Shakur was 18.
Oh,
And he
wow.
was on his way to the Olympics. He was on his way to the Olympics, and the world didn't know that Shakur was a bad motherfucker. We knew he was a bad motor scooter, right? That's where, no, we knew he was a bad motor scooter.
Nah, word.
That's why we knocked on the door in Newark to go see him, and that's why he called Devin to get that work, because he was getting ready for the Olympics, and we wanted to give him some good work. Although Devin was, you know what I mean, he wasn't necessarily getting ready for anything, but he was developing the pro style of, that's what we were working on in the gym. So we've always been in the gym, right? It wasn't like he was any long period away from boxing.
So the funny thing is, after Loma, the contract's done. Dev's contract we're talking about.
With Top Rank. Or does the Loma fight extend it?
No, are you asking me because you made a statement? You made a statement.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Is Devin's
No, because the 2-year timeline, it starts to what? Yesterday, that clip dropped. Yesterday's 2-year timeline. So you a free agent after the Loma fight. Sounds like that fight could happen. I mean, Ryan had to go over there. At the end of the day, look, we got to concede he's the cash cow, right?
Yeah.
So we got to
who-
go to his network.
Who?
Tank.
You said we conceded that he's what?
No, I said we, as a whole, have to
Did you-
concede that he's the cash cow.
I concede that it's a great event, and I concede the fact that it will make for people that want to see it all over the world, different networks, you know what I mean, different distributors. Not only do you have Showtime here in the U.S., but you also have you have ESPN. You also have what's the UK guy? What's the UK?
DAZN?
Well, DAZN is UK, but what's the other one?
BT?
Boxer.
BT Sport.
Oh,
You know
okay.
what I mean? So we can't at this level of
Fox.
play.
Can't forget Fox.
You at this level of play, we can't confuse the broadcasters or confuse any sides of the streets
You got
or
Black
anything
Prime
like that.
now.
You got so many things. So there's no reason for the thing not to happen. And Devin has never been an example of politics or things not happening.
What's more of the Mayweather-Pacquiao for your son? Is it Tank or is it Shakur?
You know, those are both great fights. I don't know which one is Mayweather Pacquiao because those guys kept winning. I believe that right now, Loma is our Arturo Gotti.
Oh, you disrespectful. He said
No,
Arturo
no,
Gotti.
he's spot on. He's spot on. People thought more.
Yeah, but he called him a
of-
C-class fighter.
No, well,
That was part of the promotion,
that-
and
that
that was
was-
actually That was actually
I mean,
Floyd's.
and he whooped him.
Well, it was.
You
it
gonna
was
call him Arturo Gatti? You gotta whoop him.
well, no, but when I make correlation to it, I mean that
Coming out
he's
party?
still it's a coming out party. It's someone that has lost, but it's someone that the people still believe in. And he had to beat Arturo Gatti in the ring. He couldn't just beat him with public perception. Public perception is that Devin will beat Lomachenko, but you have to go beat him in the ring, and that's no easy out for anyone.
Absolutely.
Does Sandor upset Tio this week, or
Ooh, we went down to Fresno to that unfortunate night for the Mikey Garcia and the Garcia team, because unfortunately that's the last time we got a chance to see Mikey. And
They
I got a
retired
chance.
him.
Yeah, and I got a chance to go down there. And I won't say he retired him. Unfortunately, the money retired Mikey. He made some good investments, both him and his family. They're extremely smart, and they're really connected. And I was seeing that the paydays that he was getting from Eddie, the paydays that he got with Earl, that he was starting to make the transition to more of a businessman and speaking more of his investments and stuff like that. So I don't want to say that this guy retired him, because the way in which he won the fight wasn't a retirement kind of fight, but it was just truly Mikey's last fight.
So what he doing to Tio this weekend?
It's going to be a tough fight. He doesn't seem like he's backing down in any way.
Nope. Not
You know
scared
what I
at
mean?
all.
And I think that a lot of Teofimo's antics are calculated, and they're calculated in a way to have a fighter and the team kind of, going back and forth about his power, about how aggressive he is. But I know Gordo was a boxer. That's one thing I know about it, is Gordo was a boxer. Tio became a puncher, knockout artist, and so on the like. So, of course, I wish Tio well, and I'm rooting for him and Teofimo Sr., because, that fight, we have a certain, grudge match that needs to be decided, so to speak, and it doesn't help Tio losing.
We got a couple more with 0 time left. Again, what is the update on Shakur potentially skipping Loma to fight Devin? Have you spoken specifically to Jay Prince or Bob Arum in the last 72 hours on this matter?
The only matters from Top Rank, Bob Arum, or anything from their office has been Lomachenko. I haven't heard anything from Mr. Prince, Shakur, or Antonio Leonard, or anyone from their team. I haven't received any calls or any correspondence since the infamous meeting, that everyone has seen on the internet.
Do you remember in the Linares fight when you told Devin after the 5th round, and I quote, "It's time to be the boss"? After that, he became super aggressive, which led to a lot of exchanges. Looking back, would you have done anything differently?
No, I think that Devin has learned and matured that in the fight game, it's a 3-minute round, and you have to be on point all 3 minutes. You can't, relax. You can't let a fighter in the 10th round feel like, he's wore down. Fighters like Linares, Tank, and those guys continue to carry the power into the later rounds. And we've seen that, in numerous times with both Linares and Tank, for that matter. So he's learned from it. And those are things that going into the championship fights that you see him a lot more focused, even at the end, the championship rounds. He took a lapse in concentration. He came up, and he was in the wrong defense. He was in the shoulder defense instead of coming up in the high guard. And we've learned for that. And you just got to continue to work at getting your craft better.
Last one should be a quick and easy one. Cisco Promotions, this upcoming weekend is stacked in boxing. Do you see any potential upsets this week? And if so, which matchup? Like you, I'm a betting man, but I don't think he knows you. You're not a betting man.
No, I'm not a betting man. But have anybody seen Leonard Ellerby?
No, we was talking about that.
Where's Leonard at?
We was talking about that. You think he
Is
got
he okay?
fired because Tank is no longer with them? Like, you blaming him for it?
I don't know. I don't know, but
Honestly, I spoke to 4 Mayweather Promotions fighters in the last week, and none of them are with Mayweather.
I don't know.
I don't know if there's even a Mayweather anymore.
Hey, I hope you're all right, Leonard. If hit me if you need something.
We terrible, man. What's wrong with you? You gonna give him a job at DHP?
Daddy, what is wrong
Danny
with
trying to have a straight face.
Daddy, yeah, what is wrong with Daddy? Listen. We're good,
All right, we're gonna
people.
go ahead
I know.
and wrap.
I'm looking for the notebook, seeing if because this shit gotta be practiced. Like
What?
Like there's no way.
It's off the top,
Yo,
man.
he's spitting fire today.
He said
can't-
practice,
he
man.
came
This
in-
guy's Jay-Z going to
He-
booth with no
Yo,
pen and paper.
He was driving. He was a little late because he was on the phone with Church on the way here getting a prep talk. He was getting a prep talk.
Hey man, shout out to Church who's going to be making a comeback to Devin's corner. He's been going through a few things, and we haven't seen him in Australia. When I always said that we were 90%, that other 10% factor was Church. And I guarantee you, when you see Devin next and you see Church right there, you're gonna see an even more sparked and exciting and motivated Devin Haney.
You ain't gonna believe it, but we had him scheduled, and he hit me, and I hit him like 3 in the morning. Like, yo, Bill confirmed that he's gonna come through. We got 2 hours. You could still come. He's
No.
He's like, nah, give Bill the
Yeah,
shine.
because we don't sing together no more. When Church go on stage and he's talking, I just kick back. We don't, you know what I mean? We don't go back and forth together.
Well, we're going to wrap it up. I want to thank you, obviously, for coming in. If we could get one of the great guys in the engineer to help us with this picture. But please give out your social media, give out Devin's social media, where they can find you guys, and how to stay updated on everything DHP and Devin Haney.
At Real Devin Haney on all platforms. And, you can catch me on your ass when you say the wrong thing about Devin. For sure.
Oh, I got to ask your thoughts on Tank saying he'd knock out Terrence in 6 rounds. You think he was playing, trolling, what? Selling tickets to his new fight?
Was that like his tweets? Like he's
Nah,
retired?
he said it
on
audio.
video.
Huh?
He said audio. He said it. He's like, if I tap that chin, he chinny.
Listen, Terrence has already hired us for any of the little guys. Anybody 130, 26, 30, 35, Gary Russell, Tank Davis, you cannot go to get to Terrence Crawford without going through us. Rolly Romero, leave Earl Spence alone. You see what I'm saying? You come over here and you get that ass whipping too. You know what I mean? Leave them big guys alone. Stop trolling them, right? They're the best 147 pounders in the world, and they're the best 140 pounders for a reason. Hello?
For sure. Well, thank you so much. See you on the next one, ladies and gentlemen, 6 a.m. in the morning.
Peace.
We out.
What up, YouTube family? Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to that 1 million subscribers. We're on the road to 1 million. And obviously, we have other great content on our Patreon channel. So since this video is over, head on over to our Patreon and check out all the exclusive content, or right here on our YouTube members.